You're listening to Historical Perspectives with Mr. Malt. Learn about life by looking at our history. Teachers, for more information about historical perspectives, search Mr. Malt's Marketplace on Teachers Pay Teachers or at mrmaltmarketplace.com. Happy learning!
Learning about the Underground Railroad. Jason loved history class, especially when his teacher, Miss Carter, told stories. One sunny afternoon, Jason sat in his seat, his notebook open and pencil ready. Miss Carter smiled at the class. Today, we're going to learn about the Underground Railroad. Does anyone know what that means? She asked. Jason raised his hand, his brow furrowed. Was it a railroad underground, like tunnels with trains? Miss Carter laughed gently. That's a great question, Jason. No, it wasn't a real railroad, and it wasn't underground. It was a secret network of people and safe places that helped enslaved individuals escape to freedom. She walked to the board and drew a simple map of the United States. Enslaved people in the South wanted to go north, where slavery was not allowed, Miss Carter explained. They walked, hid, and traveled at night to avoid being caught. The people who helped them were very brave, and one of the most famous helpers was Harriet Tubman. Jason sat up straighter. He had heard that name before. Who was Harriet Tubman? He asked. I'm so glad you asked, Miss Carter said, her eyes lighting up. Harriet Tubman was an enslaved woman who escaped to freedom. But she didn't stop there. She made 13 trips back to the South to help others escape too. People called her Moses because she led so many to safety, just like Moses in the Bible. Jason scribbled, Harriet Tubman equals Moses in his notebook. He imagined what it would be like to take such a dangerous trip. How did they know where to go? He asked. Miss Carter drew a little star on the board. Do you see this? It's called the North Star. Enslaved people used the stars to guide them at night. They also used secret codes in songs like Follow the Drinking Gourd to know which way to go. Jason felt a buzz of excitement. Wait, so they sang songs that were like secret maps? Exactly, Miss Carter said, nodding. And they also had places called stations where they could rest and hide. Kind people called conductors guided them from one station to the next. Was Harriet Tubman a conductor? Asked Emily, the girl sitting next to Jason. She sure was, said Miss Carter, her tone serious. She risked her life every time she went back to the South. She helped about 70 people escape to freedom, but she also gave courage and hope to many more. Imagine how brave she had to be. Jason tried to picture it. He thought about walking for miles in the dark, hiding in barns and basements, and trusting strangers to help. Wasn't she scared of getting caught? He asked. Miss Carter nodded. Of course. Harriet Tubman faced many dangers. There were people searching for her, and if she had been caught, she would have been punished, possibly even killed. But she believed freedom was worth the risk, not just for herself, but for others. Jason's mind raced with images of Harriet Tubman leading groups of people through dark forests and across rushing rivers. She must have been really brave, he said softly. Miss Carter smiled at him. She was incredibly brave, Jason, and she teaches us an important lesson about helping others and standing up for what's right. By the end of class, Jason felt inspired. Miss Carter, he said as the bell rang, where can I learn more about Harriet Tubman? I'll leave some books on my desk for you, Miss Carter replied, and remember, We'll talk more tomorrow about how the Underground Railroad reminds us that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Jason walked out of class with his notebook tucked under his arm, feeling like he had just met a hero. He couldn't wait to learn more.
Thanks for listening to this Historical Perspective. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe. Also, search for Historical Perspectives on Teachers Pay Teachers to learn more about other topics, such as the Golden Gate Bridge, Henry Ford, schools in the early 1900s, and so much more. Happy learning!